to bring him up here and give him a big thunderous round of applause, please.
Well, thanks to Dave. That was pretty awesome introduction. I don't think I've had one that good in a while, so I'm going to bring him around everywhere. But I'd just like to say thank you to PSIA and AASI for their partnership over the last 5 years. It's been amazing, the things that we've done, and he mentioned interski and some other scrambling along the way. And I just want to thank the board. I want to thank everyone in marketing for supporting us. I want to give a special thanks to Max Felix and CJ Lindbrecht. Without them, I don't think any of this would happen, so roll that. Those two dudes were amazing partners for me along the way. I'd also like to thank the team for representing the North Face at the highest level, and that's what this partnership is about. And that's really important to me. Plus, they treated me like that one extra team member, so thank you all for that. And then I'd like to thank everyone else in the room. Snow sports gave me a big confidence at a young age, and I've carried that through my life, through ups and downs, and made a fun career out of it. And I just want to thank you all for that. And good luck for whatever you do in your next partnerships, and keep on keeping on, everybody.
Amen. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So we are just so you know, too, the ProForm continues through June 30th because our contract with the North Face stays there. So you've got plenty of opportunities and time to take advantage of the great deals. And then July 1, like I said, there'll be a surprise. There'll be an announcement on Friday of where we're going next with our outerwear partnership. One little housekeeping piece before I introduce Eliza is that when we do the awards and recognition thing throughout the entire piece, we'll have opportunities at the end to take photos. So we don't need to all rush here and get photos in the moment with each of the folks receiving an award. So with that, your board chair, Eliza Kuntz. Come on up, Eliza.
Thanks, Dave. Excellent. Thank you. Wow. I gotta say, thanks for showing up. Come on, give it up. Thanks for showing up. It's nothing worse than standing up here on the stage and there's like 3 or 4 people hanging out. But so thanks for showing up. And thanks for showing up for somebody else. The people you're about to meet tonight or see recognized or hear how they are recognized are so influential, have been either influential or are new leaders in our association. So this afternoon, this evening, welcome to all of you that are live streaming us from around the country or around the world, wherever you may be. Thanks to you for showing up too, because this is about them. And this is about the amazing people who took the time to nominate these award recipients. It took a lot of work to do that. So once again, give yourselves a hand. Thanks everyone for showing up. So some of you may have seen kind of a rogue group out there today, and that was because for a couple of hours this morning, all of the award recipients, their nominators for the most part, board members, our CEO, Andy, was taking pictures from the staff. We had family members showing up, and we had supporters that came from kind of all over this country to support their family members and their friends who are going to receive these awards. So believe it or not, they went up the tram, skied Liberty Bowl, thanks to our Big Sky guide, Eric Shackleton. And we ripped around, got some photos, and had a really great time. So this day has pretty much been about all of them. So recognizing our members as instructors, leaders, collaborators, this is a pretty big job, and it's a very important job, and it falls on the National Board of Directors. And we take that very seriously. And in a moment, you'll hear more about the nomination process, the selection process, and what all of you can do to help us gap the history between where we have been, where we are now, and what the future of PSIA-AASI is and where we're going. And the people you're going to meet tonight are pulling all of that together for us. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Robin May. And Robin has quite a large job as the committee chair of the Awards and Recognition Committee of the National Board. And Robin has a lot more to tell you about that, but also to tell you a little bit more about Robin, because this job's not big enough as being a national board member. He's also the president of the Rocky Mountain region. So he's got a board that he's in charge of as well. So that's also a big job. So without further ado, Mr. Robin May.
Hi, guys. I think I said this before. This is one of my favorite nights of the year. I have an incredible committee that helps me. The Awards and Recognition Committee is kind of unique that it's the only national board committee comprised of board members, staff, and members at large. And I just wanted to share with you the committee members. Shelby Rogla, Russ Koff, Ryan Leclerc, Somaya Submaranium. I have a hard time with that last name. Stacy Deck, Courtney Bayuk, who was a recipient and came up after this award ceremony and said, I want to help. So she is. And Laura Armstrong also is our project manager. So those folks put in a lot of time, and they work with the procedural part and the policy part and trying to vet and help the nominators provide enough background and some supplemental documentation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure that they're nominating in the right categories. And then we also have an advisory group that is kind of new, and just kind of an update on what the committee's doing. We have an advisory group. We were finding that we were getting a lot of nominations that were more of regional in nature. We're going to work in the future with each region and their awards group to make sure that that regionally we are also recognizing those people that are kind of iconic or moving their way up the chain as it is in each region. The advisory group this past year was Sherm White, Carol Levine, and Chris Fellows. And we find that we're kind of at a lag right now. We're vetting and looking through lists and trying to make sure that we're not missing people. So you'll see some new ways that we're recognizing people on our website, et cetera, in the future. So stay tuned for that. So the committee really has 6 awards. There are awards that are, these are national awards, some that recognize more of a historical kind of context of our membership, and the other ones are more the rising stars and the grassroots kind of people across the country that are really making an impact for our members. So I thought I would before I get to anything else, I also wanted to mention that the committee also takes in nominations from the various regions for national recognition of lifetime membership. Now that isn't the Lifetime Achievement Award. There's sometimes confusion there, but each region, their board of directors will forward names to the national board and recommend lifetime membership. And we also have an honorary membership. We don't have any of those for this evening, but we do have 2 regional nomination or recipients of lifetime membership. Ursula Howland, who is from Big Sky, Northern Rocky Mountain region, and we're recognizing Mickey Sullivan from the Eastern region this year. And they get a cool North Face jacket this year, and emblazoned with a cool logo. and they get a gold membership card. And probably the coolest part is they don't pay dues ever again. But we got a lot out of them already. So that's the lifetime membership, not the achievement. Okay. The first award I'm going to discuss here is the Top of the Course Award. The Top of the Course Award is for level 2 and 3 candidates, and its criteria is scored at the highest percentile of these. The recipients would be scored at the highest percentile in all 3 categories: teaching, people, and technical, in their level 2 or 3 exams. They demonstrate exemplary willingness to empower other exam candidates to achieve success during their exam. We call them assessments now. We have to do it. Showed exceptional compassion and understanding for the needs of others, and elevated peer performance for a more positive exam environment. And the winners are nobody, because we don't have any, didn't get any nominations this year. So how many people out here are in their various regions, how many people here are ed staff members who do assessments? Could you please raise your hands? Okay, and of all that group, how many are doing 2s and 3s? Keep your hands up. Okay. This is what I want out of this group, is please, next year when you have your early training, your ed staff training, et cetera, is please make a commitment with each other to really start to identify through the assessment process those bright stars, the ones that get the big scores, and the people that lay it down, and really go out and create that group dynamic that we're all looking for, and save their score sheets, and let's try to make sure that we have at least a candidate, and this can be in any discipline, at level 2 and level 3 from every region next year. Okay? Can I get an amen on that? Okay. All right. I need your help there. So, the first award we're going to give out tonight is the Angus Graham Rising Star Award. And this award recognizes standout members who show promise in charting a career path within the snow sports industry and must demonstrate positive leadership behavior, serve as volunteer leaders, and distinguish themselves in a truly exemplary fashion. And the award, for anybody who knows or knew Angus Graham, is named after him because he really exemplified that. He was a trainer, mentor at the Aspen Snowmass Ski School, and he died in a car accident in 2017. So this is kind of my favorite award because it really promotes those people who are on a trajectory, right? People who you see and you just go, boy, that person in 10 years, where are they going to be? And so it's a really impactful award for us. It recognizes the future of this organization. This year's recipient of the Angus Graham Rising Star Award is Tomas Zanino. Tommy, if you could come up. Yeah. Yep, just a sec. And Tommy was nominated by Robin Barnes. And Robin is the director of, everybody knows who Robin is, the director of skier services at Hemley Mountain Resort, a 4-term PSIA national team member, and what did you say? A rookie alumni. Is that what we're? Come on up, Robin.
Appreciate that. Hit it, he says. What an amazing week. So I do have some notes. I'm going to share some words about Tommy. But before I do, just so that you know they're authentic, I'm going to share a story about today. After lunch, I was walking up from the Huntley to pick up my skis on the hill, and I hear this person behind me just singing at the top of his lungs, wah, wah, wah. And I turn around, and it's Tommy, just super excited about going skiing again after lunch. So it's not every day that we get to recognize someone who doesn't just excel on the snow, but who lifts others up, leads by example, and actively influences Heavenly Mountain Resort school culture and the snow sports industry. Tonight, we celebrate exactly that kind of person. Please join me in congratulating this year's Angus Graham Rising Star Award recipient, Thomas Zunino. And Tommy learned to ski when he was 8 years old during a family vacation in Argentina, and what began as a childhood joy quickly became a lifelong passion. In the 2019-20 season, he came to Heavenly as a J1 visa instructor for his first year teaching skiing, and immediately made a lasting impression on me and his peers. His professionalism, eagerness to learn, his passion for sharing skiing with others quickly made him a standout in our ski and ride school. But it was during his second season that I truly saw his resilience and character. On the very first day of the season, not skiing, but walking on an icy road, he fell and tore his ACL. There's a light behind this, though. For many, that would have ended the season, but for Tommy, it didn't. He chose to stay, and every single day, as Eliza said earlier, he showed up. He was full of energy, optimism, and a deep desire to contribute. That was when I knew this wasn't just a strong instructor, this was a leader. Since then, he's become an integral part of our ski and ride school as an unofficial leader. He has mentored new instructors, particularly those arriving on J1 visas, offering not just technical guidance, but support, encouragement, and a true sense of belonging. When Tommy was training for his level 3 certification, he'd teach a kid's lesson all day and then grab some peers and take some end-of-day runs on Heavenly's 1,500 vertical foot bump run called Gun Barrel. And if any of you have ever been at Heavenly, it's a long bump run, and most of the guests ride down the chairlift to finish their day. And Heavenly's, you can probably agree with this, Tommy, always one of two things. It's always either good skiing or good for your skiing. And he would always have a posse with him, which was one of the ways that he helped to raise everyone's game. He both pulls people up with him and he pushes people up. Tommy leads with humility, but also with an incredible moral clarity. His strong moral compass guides his decision-making, and it's one of the many reasons people trust him, respect him, and follow his lead. Whether it's in a lesson, in a training session, or in a moment when doing the right thing really matters. He's broadened his horizons by teaching in the US, Argentina, and most recently, Mount Hotham in Australia, always returning with fresh ideas and a deeper understanding of our global snow sports industry. He brings thoughtfulness and discipline to every step of his journey. I'm almost there. Perhaps most importantly, Tommy is simply a remarkable human being. He is driven, always striving to be his best. He is generous with his time, his energy, and his knowledge. He is humble, never seeking the spotlight, but always shining. He is athletic and passionate, fully embodying what it means to be passionate about ski education and everything he does. As a volunteer leader, extraordinary instructor, and someone whose character speaks louder than words, Tommy has distinguished himself in a way that is truly exemplary. I'm confident that Tommy will continue to have a positive impact as this award recipient, because whatever he gains from this experience, he will bring back to his peers at home and across the region. That is what he is. That's who he is. He grows and he brings others with him. Congratulations, Tommy. I'm tremendously proud of you, grateful for you, and excited to see what's next. You're welcome very much.
That is the hard part. Thank you, everybody. It's a truly honor to be here this night to receive an award. It's truly regarding how your hard work pay you off. It's amazing. Thank you all the organization. This is an amazing week. I really enjoy. I'm so happy. Thank you, Heavenly. I came from a farm, my whole childhood in a farm, and I show up in the mountain in Heavenly, and I learned so much. I grew up as a person so much there. So thank you, everybody from Heavenly. We have a few here, Mike and Richie. So thank you, both of you. And thank you, Robin. You make me the happiest person this week. So thank you a lot. Not only because of the award, the whole 3 years that you've been as a director, super enjoyable, and we have a nice relationship. But yeah, thank you again. Thank you, everybody, to being here.
The next award is called the 3 C's Award. I always think there should be about 10 C's because there are so many that represent good communicators, good instructors. But this award recognizes members who exemplify positive leadership within their snow sports school or region through effective collaboration, communication, and cooperation. Anyone want to throw out any more C's that might work? Cuervo. All right, we can play games later. This recipient consistently fosters teamwork and open communication with their guests, their colleagues, their school management, and other departments. They're acknowledged for their proactive approach and recognized as guiding examples within their snow sports school and their region of PSIA-AASI. Being a leader takes many forms, from the locker room to the hill, the resort, the region, and here at the national level as well. We celebrate the collaborators, the consensus makers, the folks who get things done. They overcome challenges, that's a C word, by the way, and find solutions while modeling best of what we all can be. They exemplify our creed through the 3 C's. There are 2 recipients this year for this award, and the first is Ralph Reel. Where are you, Ralph? This guy can ski, too, let me tell you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now you get to stand uncomfortably, just right there while we talk about you. To speak on Ralph's behalf, well, I'm going to list all these things out first, because before I tell you who it is. All right, just cut it short. Eric Shackleton, get up here. All right, well, Eric's coming up here. Former PSIA-AASI board chair, first United States president of Interski International, PSIA-AASI Lifetime Achievement Award, and lifetime membership recipient, snowboard team member, snowboard instructor here at Big Sky, and a dear friend of mine, Eric Shackleton.
How's everybody doing? Great day out there today, huh?
A little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, I'll try to lighten it up a little bit. I do want to just take a quick second to, as someone who's been involved for a while, to thank the awards committee and the board for dedicating themselves to this. There's been times in our history where we haven't done a very good job of recognizing people. So having that process here is really wonderful for our organization. So thank you. So I'm here. I'm actually going to read, because usually I can talk about Interski all day and wing it, but this one I want to make sure I get right. So it's really an honor to be here tonight in front of you to introduce a truly exceptional human being and a dear friend, Ralph. I was going to say the C's, but you've already said them. Thank you very much, because it's okay. Yeah, I've got some at the end. But before I talk about Ralph's incredible impact in our community, I want to take a few moments to talk about when I first met Ralph. It was in college, outside of Boston, Massachusetts, almost 40 years ago, which really pains me to say, I have to say. I can honestly say that I wouldn't be here tonight if it weren't for this guy. As a freshman, I was just totally shy, even more socially awkward than I am now, and I had a tendency to isolate my room and not leave for days at a time. The popcorn maker and the hot pot for ramen were just my best friends.
And walls of Mountain Dew.
And walls of Mountain Dew, yes.
Way ahead of your time.
You're right, yeah. Thanks for that. Fortunately, Ralph lived in the room next door, and he wouldn't let that happen to me. Ralph has a larger-than-life personality, and if you ever get to hear him laugh, he can clear a room with that laugh. In a good way. He also has an effortless way of making you feel like you are seen and valued, important, and maybe the only one who matters. He invited me in. He wouldn't take no for an answer. He helped me find my confidence and my voice, and that's what led me to become a snowboard instructor eventually and a leader in the organization. Years later, I had the privilege of introducing Ralph to ski instructing. After 9/11, he wanted to get out, and he became a ski instructor at Whitefish Mountain. For the past 20 years, Ralph has brought that same heart and positivity to Mount Snow and to PSIA-AASI. Are there any Mount Snow instructors? I know there's at least one. Yep. All right. Awesome. So you know what I'm talking about.
Dave counts.
All right.
Dave, you count.
Whether it's in the locker room, a lesson, or a chairlift ride, Ralph just lifts everyone around him. And I have some quotes that I wanted to read. That's what I wanted to make sure I didn't mess up. So Maureen Drummy, senior manager at the Mount Snow Ski and Ride School, shared that Ralph most definitely emulates the 3 C's award by being a positive role model in many ways, both on snow and off snow. We love Ralph. He shows up every weekend, early and enthusiastic, skis hard, teaches harder, and always brings humility and humor. He's mentored countless colleagues, trained instructors through certifications, and inspired the kids in our development program with a steady belief in their potential. Many of you know Mike Ma, former PSIA-AASI team member. He put it really well. Ralph is truly a culture maker. His gregarious presence transforms our locker room into a space where every individual feels welcomed and valued. What's more, Ralph embraces diversity in all its forms. Whether working with snowboarders as an alpine instructor or contributing to our adaptive program, he exemplifies open-mindedness and inclusion, proving that the 3 C's are more than principles for him, they are a way of life. And this isn't just the way Ralph is at work, this is truly who he is. A fellow instructor, Dan Issa, wrote, "Ralph is the person that everyone knows, everyone likes, and considers a friend. He's always there when you need him, always helping out. He considers our improvements to be his victories." So life is funny, it goes full circle. You know, Ralph inspired me to become a snowboard instructor. I inspired him, but he continues to inspire so many each and every day. So today we're not honoring just a great instructor, we're celebrating someone who's changed lives. You're gonna make me cry. With quiet consistency, contagious joy, and someone who's made our community better, stronger, and more connected. So please help me celebrate Ralph Riol, a true friend and mentor to so many.
I love you, brother. I love you.
You're good.
I love this guy. We are so lucky to have him and anybody that knows him and everything that he does. And I don't have to say anything about that because you all know. Schneck, thank you so much. Slater, my wife, thank you so much for being a ski instructor, widower, you know, and all that comes with that. But you're a great dependent. You're one of the best dependents at Mount Snow. There's no doubt about it. Thank my mom. I want to thank the Mount Snow family, and I want to thank all of you who do this and created this. You know, when Elijah called me up to tell me about this award, I had no idea. Seems everybody else knew, but I did not. I fell out of my chair. I had no idea a award like this kind of recognition, never anything like that's ever happened to me. And quite frankly, I had no idea what she was talking about. I guess I'm going to Big Sky and getting recognized. Yes. Hello. All right. I'm free.
You're
That's a
free.
lot better. I had no idea what you were talking about. I was totally excited. I was swept away by that. But I had no idea what the award was for. And I texted Schneck, and he's like, congratulations. And Elijah's like, you'll be getting letters from the other people. And I read the letters. I read what you wrote. I read what these other people wrote. And I became a little bit more familiar with what the 3 C's were about, or at least why I'm standing here. And I'll tell you that I'm humbled. I'm humbled beyond compare. And I'm honored to be recognized. And I think the most important thing that I want to message is that how grateful I am to PSIA to recognize this and whatever it is that I do. And I hope that we do more of that. It's in what we teach. It's there. It's sprinkled around there. But there's more to it. And because it's not defined very well when you look at the 3 C's, in my opinion. It's very broad. We all qualify, right? But how do you pick someone to stand here? And I think that, like what Schneck said, recognizing people, giving awards, right, motivates people. It recognizes the good things. The other recipients of the awards, great story, Tomas. Great skiing with you today. And I can't wait to hear about the other people that have been acknowledged. But thank you, PSIA, for even recognizing what this is about. And thank you for that. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Take the goods. Thank you. I'll just hold this. As I mentioned, there are 2 recipients of this award. And the second recipient is Grace Centerdora. Where are you? You moved, I know. Come on up, Grace. Can you see yourself up there? Okay. Grace has been nominated by Dominic Weber, who is not here with us this evening, who is the director at Hoodoo in Sisters, Oregon. And in fact, there's a little bit of news that we were emailing back and forth that Grace is going to be taking over his job next season as the director at Hoodoo. So congratulations to you on that. So I kept trying to get his title, and he wouldn't tell me what his title was. And he kept talking about being former something. And then so finally I talked to him today, and he said, no, she's taking my job. So now we're about to find, consensually, yes. We're about to find out why. So we talked a little bit about all the work that the nominators need to do to get this far. And one question that the nominator must answer is, how does the candidate consistently collaborate, communicate, and cooperate with guests, peers, school management, and other departments? And this is what Dominic answered. Grace embodies collaboration, communication, and cooperation at every level of our snow sports school. She sets the tone for excellence each season by leading dynamic off-snow training sessions and mentoring staff on effective methods for teaching children. When she isn't teaching private request lessons, Grace steps into other roles seamlessly, supporting the office with tasks like sales and payroll.
Yeah, that's true.
Welcome to being a director. This is my favorite from Dominic. Grace is not just an instructor, she is a force for good. Her contributions have an immeasurable impact on our school, our guests, and our broader community. I've often told my team, if I had 10 Graces, our program would be 100 times stronger. Her rare combination of skill, leadership, and unwavering dedication make her an unparalleled candidate for this award. Congratulations, Grace. Now here you can hear from from Dominic has put this together for you.
Hey, this is Dominic, the outgoing director of the Hoodoo Ski and Ride School. And when I nominated Grace for the 3Cs Award, I did it because I know no one that connects every single one of our departments together better than Grace. From rentals to the guests to lift ops to especially instructors, she has an empathy beyond anything I've ever seen before. She connects with every single person, cares about everyone, thinks about how they move through everything, and it's just made a tremendous difference in our entire operations. I'm not going to say anything more about it. I'm going to let these folks do the rest.
Grace, I love you. You're the most awesome person in the world. I'm so happy you're going to be our director. Yes!
Congratulations, Grace. You're wonderful. Congratulations.
Go.
Congratulations, Grace, on your award you're getting this week.
Yeah.
So appreciative how much you are all about the kids and you bring such a bubbly personality to all of them. And we so appreciate you being our director this year.
I think Grace is the bomb because she's positive, she's happy, and she's easy to get along with.
Go.
Grace, you're absolutely an amazing individual, and you have been the greatest people that Hoodoo has had. Thank you for being an asset to my life and allowing me to be blessed with your presence.
Grace is really good with kids. When I was doing Mountain Cubs, she was super helpful with all the things that I needed, like tips and tricks. It was just amazing. She was perfect, a great coach, and just really happy person, really fun to be around.
Thank you for always being so supportive. You're rocking.
Now, go.
One thing that I like about Grace is how she's so enthusiastic to help out our whole crew whenever we need help, and like on snow, making sure we're all having fun, all our students are having fun.
Yeah, she's nice.
Everything.
One.
Grace is like the nicest person ever. She cares about everyone, and she's been so far a great director of Ski and Ride School.
Hey, it's Doug. I am glad you are so short.
I like Grace because she likes to have fun.
Grace is a really excellent ski instructor. She really makes a point of reaching all levels of students and being very enthusiastic and having a lot of games and activities so that people are having fun while they're doing something hard or scary.
Go.
Grace has an amazing smile.
About first?
No, go.
Okay.
What's the best thing about Grace?
The best thing about Grace is how energetic she is, how kind she is, and also how much she kind of like spreads the love in every direction wherever she goes.
I love Grace as the director because she's starting up Snowboard Mountain Cubs, which will give us a lot more things to do.
I love Grace because of how kind and caring she is to the people around her.
Grace gives the absolute best kids clinics. Everything I do when I take kids out on a lesson comes directly from the clinics with her. It's amazing. The games she plays, the ways of interacting with the kids, her teaching methodology is just absolute top notch.
Awesome.
Okay, wow, that was a lot, but so grateful to see my team. In a word, I'm overwhelmed by this honor, and I'm a crier, so that will probably happen. Gosh, I have often felt like I came to skiing through my mom's love for skiing and my stepdad over there dragging us out on snow, and I was lucky enough to introduce it to my husband, who also fell in love with it. And so I've kind of felt always a little bit less of a really awesome skier and just a person who loves to be outside and feel really cool and connected in nature. And so my true thing is being an educator, and I've got a psychology background. And so when I moved to Oregon and found Hoodoo, I wanted to be able to share my family's love of the snow as well as my own love of making things feel doable and helping you kind of tap into that inner, I don't know, maybe not even confidence, because it's not there yet. But I don't know, probably all of you have had this experience, I hope you have, where you have that like perfect run or a really gorgeous day, and you feel like
super powered. It's just excellent. And while I've never been the one to be jumping the cliffs off the top, I still get that feeling. So every guest that comes into our space, I want to be able to help them connect with that feeling, because that has been the fuel that has helped me feel such a home at Hoodoo and such a place on snow, even if I often feel very intimidated by the talent that I'm surrounded by, including many of those folks. They are all amazing. So a huge thank you to Hoodoo for believing in me and trusting me and investing in my education, and for PSIA to recognize that it's not just about being the most parallel and having the best edges and the coolest carved tracks and all that stuff. It's about more than it. It's about feeling that connection to yourself and to the snow and to each other, and feeling confident and capable. And that's kind of been what's carried me here, and I'm hoping will continue to carry me as I work with Hoodoo and bring them forward. And I'm going to echo what Lucas said, and we're going to bring a snowboard Mountain Cubs program so we can get little rippers out there, so I'm really stoked on that. A little bit of equity in the team. So just thank you all for welcoming me and making me feel so welcome and giving me this space where I can share. It's just been enormous for my life and for, I don't know, now I'm running out of words. I'm just freaking out. Okay. But yeah, thank you. And Tomas, I want to shout out you wherever you are. There you are. One of my big goals in life and with my skiing, my family is from all over the world and they live internationally. And I think a few of them might even be watching on YouTube right now. So one of my goals is to take this and to go travel and ski in Argentina and Japan. And my dad lives in Italy, so go try out there. And so I just want to thank you all for creating another generation of people who have a place on snow. And as long as we have snow, I know we have that joy there. So thank you all, and thank you.
Woo! How about those two? How about our 3C recipients, huh? Wow. And who thinks Grace might just crush the job of being a ski school director? Man. Okay. We're moving on to the Distinguished Service Award. This year we have one recipient. This award honors individuals who have made significant contributions to the success of PSIA-AASI and its members, made impactful contributions that have advanced the goals of PSIA-AASI on a national level, shown long-term commitment to our community through the development of educational programs and support, exemplified strong leadership qualities while fostering connections among the members, including serving as a mentor. The Distinguished Service National Award recognizes individuals who have, through continued effort and commitment, woven their careers through the contributions on a national level. A little redundant here, but I think the biggest thing for me, takeaway for me in the Distinguished Service Award is to always know that these people, these are the kind of people that are always there. Sometimes they're not up front, but they are people who consistently are contributing and make what we do easier, that provide content and direction. And this year's recipient of the Distinguished Service Award is Peter Cray. Come on up, Pete. Okay, and to tell us more about Pete and his career, please welcome former PSIA-AASI CEO, lifetime member, and PSIA-AASI Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Mark Dorsey.
I'm not going to miss it. Didn't think I'd be this nervous, but it is such a pleasure and an honor to recognize friend, colleague, upstanding citizen, Pete Cray. This is, in his words, we're kicking off the parade of introverts because the next 4 or 5 people you see really aren't keen on public speaking. So tonight, we are here to celebrate more than the achievements of a former dirtbag from Jackson Hole. We're here to honor someone who has shaped how we see ourselves, how we remember our past, and how we tell our story. Stories matter. They connect us. They inspire action. They keep the soul of our work and our sport alive. And no one has told our story better than Pete Cray. Pete was at the forefront of a journalistic and promotions renaissance at PSI when, in the mid-90s, as a reporter for Ski Press. Remember the mid-90s? Yeah. He came to team training to report on the work of PSIA-AASI and the teams to connect the association more effectively with consumers and with industry insiders. His work raised our public profile and deepened our relationships with sponsors and area management. Since then, Pete has spent over 2 decades writing books, articles, and profiles that go way beyond technique, equipment, and terrain. 2 books in particular, The God of Skiing and, for those of you in the buying mood, American Snow. Oh, upside down? Make sure to get it that way, thank you. See, always a good editor. Also a good editor. They've received critical acclaim for powerful stories that connect the joys of flying on snow with the human experience. Pete's work with PSIA-AASI has left a lasting mark, so let me share 2, please. First, Interski. Before the 2011 St. Anton Interski, the U.S. presence at Interski felt uncertain. We didn't always bring home value that landed convincingly with our members. Our continued involvement was in question. And that changed when Pete joined us at St. Anton. His coverage re-energized support, not only for that Interski, by the way, but how many more? 3? Yeah, 3. And ensured content that generated at the event and for the event made its way to members long after the event was over. He didn't just report. He connected the hard work of the teams in PSIA-AASI with our members and anchored the value of international collaboration. This set us on a path to invest more in international relationships, resulting in the leadership positions PSIA-AASI enjoys today. The second, our history. When PSIA-AASI turned 50, Pete didn't just look back, he reframed our history as a celebration of innovation. He had the vision to organize American Snow by decades and told the story of each decade through the lens of PSI's evolution and influence on teaching, learning, the industry, and the consumer. When we also consider his contributions to the PSIA-AASI's 60th anniversary content, it is arguable that no one person has done more to memorialize PSIA-AASI and connect it to the future than Peter Cray. Sorry, I'm using Peter so much.
I keep looking over my shoulder for that.
Yeah. Pedro's gift is his humility. He doesn't chase the spotlight, he shines it on others. Yet behind the scenes, he's helped elevate PSIA-AASI and profile the role and contributions of instructors like you. He's been the special projects editor for 32 Degrees, lead writer for PSIA-AASI, and managing editor of the SIA Snow Show Daily. He's been recognized by the Ski Channel and the Associated Press, so tonight it's our turn. Pete's work has significantly enriched us through his contributions as an author, journalist, and advocate to make the outdoors more accessible to the general public through the dedication of ski and snowboard instructors like you. His words have given voice to our passion and permanence to our progress. So please join me in recognizing a dear friend, the one and only Pete Cray.
Hello, Big Sky. The people over here can see how my legs are shaking right now. But I'll get on a stage for you guys any day of the week. So, growing up in Colorado, My father worked part-time on the Vail Ski Patrol, and then as a ski instructor at A Basin. He taught me how to ski when I was 2, then how to read and write when I was 4 or 5, mostly by reading me Ernest Hemingway and Jack London novels. That's when I began to dream of being a ski writer. Thanks to a lot of people in this room, that dream came true. I love being part of this community. It's just a deeper connection to the sport. The movement, the mechanics, the constant learning. I saw that at its pinnacle at the last 4 Interskis. I have watched the learning connection model come to life. And more than anything, to me, is the opportunity to share your stories with the world. Amazing stories. Thank you for sharing them with me, and thank you for this honor.
Okay, now we're moving on to the Educational Excellence Award. This award recognizes those individuals on a national level who have contributed to the content of our collective product. Through collective effort, they have authored, created system models, manuals, graphics, photos, visual, media, edited, re-edited, edited again. They've shaped and memorialized our common knowledge through their efforts. They are stewards of our intellectual property and our educational legacy. I'm so excited to say there are 2 recipients of this award, and our first recipient is Rebecca Ayers. To speak about Becky's amazing career with PSIA-AASI, please welcome to the stage former PSIA-AASI CEO and Lifetime Achievement recipient, Stephen Over, and again with the help from Mark Dorsey.
Again. So first of all, how many of you have been edited by or with Becky? Right? Fear the red pen. Or learn to love the red pen, because if you've been edited like I have, at first it was intimidating, but man, our work is so much better because of you. None of us produce great work by ourselves in a vacuum. So tonight we honor someone whose behind the scenes work transformed how we communicate, teach, and grow as an association. For 15 years, Becky served as communications director at PSIA-AASI, guiding everything from strategy to design. She helped shape the professional skier, launched the pro rider, and set the stage for what we know now as 32 Degrees. She even brought PSIA-AASI online in the 90s. And if you know Becky, you know how big an achievement that is. Helping build our first websites and connecting members like never before. Under Becky's leadership, production values increased as PSIA-AASI worked with preeminent industry content creators such as Ron LeMaster, Scott Markowitz, and Peter Craig, as well as generations, and I mean generations, of national team members. These weren't just magazines, they were roadmaps for instructors nationwide. During her time with PSIA-AASI, she oversaw every educational publication and led the creation of the first family of American teaching system manuals and videos. Her work and that of her team enabled tens of thousands of PSIA-AASI members to be successful in their vocation, avocation, and pursuit of certification. Before Becky, publications were often late, full of errors, and really hard to navigate. She changed that completely. With style guides, smart processes, and exceptionally high standards. PSIA-AASI earned national awards, and more importantly, our members' trust. Through her work, she helped evaluate instructional standards and fostered a culture of professionalism, inclusivity, and continuous learning, which has deeply impacted all of us. These publications laid the groundwork for past award winners Kim Sievers, Wendy Schrupp, Linda Crockett, and Julie to accomplish their work. And by the way, this is important, she did this while also editing 5 editions of the National Ski Patrol's Outdoor Emergency Care Manuals, NSP publications related to ski improvement and toboggan handling, and yes, I spelled that correctly, I can prove it right here. And introduced PSIA-AASI concepts to the world of NSP, also Ski Patrol magazine, let's not forget those 4 a year. Even after PSIA-AASI years, Becky kept giving back. She took the lead on the National Ski Areas Association Journal, bridging the gap between area operators and our instructional community. But here's what makes Becky really special. Becky's not just an editor. She's a mentor, a friend, and subject matter expert on all things Saturday Night Live. Your modern ways continue to frighten and confuse me. Becky, thank you. You made our work better.
And now it's my turn, and good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to be here tonight to celebrate a remarkable individual, Rebecca Ayers, on receiving this prestigious award. For those of you that do not know, I had the distinct pleasure of working alongside Becky during my time with the association. And I can say without hesitation that this award is not just well-deserved, it's truly a testament to the incredible impact she has had on us, Mark, and the staff she worked with. Becky, your dedication to this association has been unwavering. Your hard work, your insightful contributions, and your steadfast commitment have been the backbone of so many of our successes. Beyond that, your presence in the office was always a source of positivity and support. You were more than just a colleague. You were a mentor to your staff, a friend, and someone we all deeply valued and still do. This award is a recognition of not just the years you've dedicated, but the quality of that dedication. It acknowledges the projects that you championed and the lasting legacy you've built. Becky, from the bottom of my heart, and I think the rest of our staff, my wife Judy, it was a privilege to work alongside you, and I'm so incredibly happy to see you receive this well-deserved award.
Oh, wow. I knew I'd be a little nervous. I didn't expect to be a little emotional after that. Wow. You know, I was thinking about what I would say this evening, and the only thing that kept coming to mind was something that's a sentiment that's kind of cliche when people win awards. But the sentiment that kept coming to mind for me was just how lucky I am to have worked for these associations at such a formative time in their evolution. And as it turns out, it was a really formative time in my life as well. My immersion into the nuances of snow sports instruction was challenging and a little humbling at times, I'm not going to lie. But I learned so much, and I don't have to tell this group that having the acceptance and space to learn is a good thing, right? One of the best things about my job with PSIA and AASI was that it gave me mentors who not only supported me professionally, but also taught me some amazing life lessons, and they don't even know it. And some of them are in this very room, obviously. It also led to invaluable friendships that I have to this day. When people win awards, 9 times out of 10, it's the result of teamwork, and my job was about total collaboration with team members. A bunch of you are here tonight who raised your hand to develop content for our publications, with many instructors and technical advisors who weren't always on the team, who helped us shape that content, and with the staff, professional staff in Lakewood that I worked with. And I would be remiss not to mention our education director, Linda Crockett, who spearheaded so many of those important education products. PSIA was reimagining core resources and creating new ones, especially when AASI was formed. And many of those resources continue to be hugely essential to the membership in their current iterations under the stewardship of what is clearly an excellent staff today. Steve, who hired me back when I was in my late 20s, not only cultivated, but he insisted on an atmosphere of collaboration at the national office. He brought something priceless to his role as executive director, vision. And he had vision not only for what the organization needed to be to remain relevant, but what we could be. He knew that the caliber of the educational materials we produced was the cornerstone of fulfilling the organization's mission, and he hired staff based on their professional expertise to help meet that directive. Steve gave me the latitude to hire and retain a solid team of editors and writers, starting with Wendy Schrupp, our phenomenal associate editor who went on to take over the department and created a very well-deserved legacy in that role. Other members of our team, I just have to mention them. I know most of you probably don't remember them, but other members were Jim Schnebley, Jesse Halverson, Ingrid Tistart, and Deb Marks. Amazing writers and editors, one and all. I have to admit, we benefited immensely from the invaluable input of our marketing director at that time, the intrepid Mark Dorsey, who continued Steve's legacy of leadership. Mark would saunter over to my office every now and then, not just to talk about Saturday Night Live, but usually to drop a bomb, usually in the form of a terrific suggestion for our magazines. His insights invariably made our work better. Mark was just a phenomenal conduit to the communications department. All of these individuals had a hand in creating exceptional educational materials that I'm proud of to this day. I promise this won't go much longer. I can recall a ski lesson that I took many years ago at Winter Park. What I remember most about that experience is how the instructor made me feel comfortable and unself-conscious. A good ski instructor or snowboard instructor, assimilates technical skills, psychology, and a lot of other aptitudes in a way that is customized to the learner and pretty much undetectable to the learner. I know this is anything but easy. I'm a quote person. I even have a Pinterest file called Wisdom, where I keep a lot of little gems that resonate with me. One of my favorites goes something like this: if you aren't willing to look like a foolish beginner, you'll never become a graceful master. And I know we've all heard different versions of that many times in our lives, but I wanted to mention it because I think it's such an eloquent reminder of the value of humility, regardless of where we are in our lives and what we're trying to accomplish. You are all graceful masters, or at least well on your way to becoming graceful masters. Your very presence here at the Academy underscores your commitment to learn and your desire to help others find their own way along the path to mastery. I am so fortunate I was able to help that endeavor. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Dale Drennan, Educational Excellence Award recipient. So Dale, in lieu of a fancy plaque, we got you this "We Care That You Telly" sticker.
Thank you. I got another one. That's great. Sorry.
Was that yours?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So Dale was nominated by PSIA cross-country team member Justin Art, who could not be here tonight, but he did graciously send his congratulations via video. But before I show that video, I just wanted to share a couple of the answers to the nomination questions on your form that he put forth. So the question for this award, one of them was, has the candidate authored or developed educational materials related to snow sports? Well, the answer is a huge heck yeah, she did. So Dale played a leading role in standardizing and developing cross-country online learning models. And in the past couple of years, 3 online learning modules plus a workbook have been developed for cross-country. Dale's been a driving force to ensure that we keep projects on time, as well as volunteering many of her hours to develop, edit, push forward the following resources over the finish line: the cross-country delivering the beginner experience, cross-country level 1 and 2 online learning, and cross-country level 3 workbook. So congratulations to you. And here we go. Come on over here where you can see this. I'll hold your stuff. I need this, though. Okay. You want me to stand on the other side? I'm pressing play, Andy. In the middle? Yeah. Oh, it's not touchscreen. Nope. There you go. Got it. Figured it out
Congrats
myself.
on the Educational Excellence Award, Dale. You are so deserving. Since your cross-country colleagues couldn't be there to celebrate with you in Big Sky, we wanted to send you this message.
Woo! Hey, gang! Hope you're all having a great National Academy. So excited for Dale Drennan to be recognized at this event. Dale's been a total inspiration to the cross-country team and the Telmark team. She's a true Nord, and we're just so excited that she's gonna get honored in this way.
It all started way back when, doing the first 60-page cross-country handbook. Then we did workbooks and study guides for level 1, 2, 3, and trainer. We also did a certification guide. And then I think your biggest accomplishment was changing the level 1 workbooks into, and level 2 workbooks into e-learning courses.
She is such an inspiration to skiing education. Her positive and welcoming attitude really was inspirational for all of us on the task force.
As an educator, you always keep the learner and the learning environment top of mind. And because you are so good at this, you naturally lead us all, either formally or informally, in creative, productive, and fun ways.
You are incredibly deserving, incredibly compassionate, a wonderful person to work with, a wonderful mentor. Dale, you've been on the Rocky Mountain Education staff for 34 years, since 1991. You have contributed so much to PSIA over your volunteer career and will continue, I'm sure.
We've worked together for almost 40 years, and you've always been my role model for what I think a great educator should be. You're a great listener. You're a great communicator of both the spoken and the written word. You're passionate, you're kind, you're fun, and most of all, you care. You care about us, and you care about the projects that you put so much energy into.
To everyone out there, if you ever get a chance to clinic with Dale or work on a project with her, don't pass it up. She's a joy to work with, and you'll learn a ton from her.
Congratulations. Paulo says congratulations also.
And congratulations, Dale.
Congratulations again, Dale. I couldn't be happier.
So much love to you. I'm blessed to have you in my life. Congratulations, Dale.
You're amazing. Love you, and again, congratulations.
You know, these things are created to embarrass you. So I'm embarrassed, but I'm also very happy to be here. And I thought it'd be safer if I just read what I wanted to say. So I'm going to go for it. So I am deeply honored to get this award from PSIA-AASI, the Educational Excellence Award. And I can't begin to thank everyone, but I do want to thank Justin Arndt, who nominated me, and the National Board of Directors for their approval, and my husband, who disappeared. He's somewhere out there. Oh, there he is. Okay. You know, the existence of this award reflects the value our organization places on education, a passion that has defined my journey both on and off the slopes. I've always believed that learning, mental or physical, is fun. And joy has guided me through every chapter of my life, and I've loved sharing that passion with others. My first ski experience was in 1957. You can calculate my age if you want. When my dad took me out of second grade for a trip to the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. Anybody here from East Coast there? Yay, back there, yeah. So you know those mountains, nice mountains. I don't remember taking a lesson, but I do remember getting my ski really stuck in the snow when I fell, and the rope tow operator yelling at me, "Let go!" Because you know, I was still on the ground holding on to the rope tow. I didn't have the sense to let go. But I was determined to conquer the beginner hill by the end of the day, and I did. And that day sparked a lifelong love of skiing and learning. From skiing weekends in New England to college in Vermont, and eventually working at Alta as a maid and a waitress, where I explored the Wasatch backcountry on my first pair of wooden cross-country skis, my path was shaped by curiosity and a desire to learn. In 1974, while pursuing a master's degree in geology at University of Utah, I spotted an ad stating that Brighton Resort was hiring new instructors. Our training began with indoor classes where director Dwayne Vigos explained skiing mechanics using 20th century teaching materials, which I have brought. Can you all see these? These look like pencils, right? But they are skis. They are skis. And so if you're learning how to teach skiing, you need to know what's the outside ski and what's the inside ski. So you have a turn here, right? So this is the outside ski and this is the inside ski, right? So we learned that. He used these for lots of things. Another thing that he explained was carving. So if you have a ski with very little side cut, your turn is going to be this big. If you have a lot of side cut, then your turn is going to be this big. So last night at 2 o'clock in the morning when I was worrying about giving this talk, I realized that for telemark skiing, you can also use pencils. So you have your pencils, right? This is downhill. So you have your lead ski and your ski behind. Well, you can make your turn two different ways, a couple of different ways how you do your lead change. So you can advance this ski first and then turn, or you can turn first and then advance the ski. Thank you. Dwayne's no-tech teaching method shaped my understanding of how powerful, passionate instruction can be regardless of tools available. Dwayne hired me, and then he trained all new instructors for Alpine Associate Certification, which is now level 2. This meant that after teaching all day, we often clinicked on the hill till after dark. I passed after the second try, and many certifications followed from there. My passion for education extended beyond skiing. I earned a teaching English as a second language certificate and went on to get a master's degree in English, which in turn led to being hired as a composition instructor for California State University. This position required that I design courses, use new tech, and eventually teach over Zoom, skills that became essential later with my work with PSIA. When the pandemic hit, we were all stuck inside. I teamed up with fellow Nordic Ed staff members, Patty Banks, who spoke there, and her wind chimes were going in the background, that's Patty, and Deb Willits, who kind of had a buff right up to her face there, who was a former, the only woman ever to make the Nordic demo team. So we need more of them. You guys out there, practice up. Anyway, we transformed the Level 1 workbook into an interactive e-learning course. We wanted to support instructors in small schools with no local training, so we created accessible, practical modules rooted in the learning connection model. The success of the Level 1 and Level 2 e-learning course followed the next year. So both are now available online for free. You guys, check them out. Check out cross-country skiing. It's great. So from 2 pencils in the 70s to digital learning in the 21st century, my journey has been about making learning exciting and accessible. That's why this award means so much to me. It's a reminder that passion for education can spark change. So let's continue to bring people together through the love of snow sports. Let's continue to pursue excellence in education, making learning fun and effective. Thank you.
We're going to raffle these off. What's the third one, Dale? Dale, what's the...
That's in case I lose one.
Okay, all right. All right, here we go. Lifetime Achievement. This award recognizes exceptional members who developed and implemented programs, projects, procedures that affected the association nationally while demonstrating dedication, devotion, and self-sacrifice in serving their roles. Lifetime membership will be awarded to the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Okay, so that's the membership that we had earlier. If they didn't already have it, they get this too. That's the gold card and the no dues. Members must have at least 10 years of sustained outstanding service. This award speaks for itself and is presented to the best of us who have achieved at a national level throughout their lives. It's the pinnacle of recognition of PSIA-AASI. Tonight, this award is presented to Horst Abraham. Unfortunately, Horst could not be with us tonight. He's at his home in Florida, and I hope that he is watching us and listening to this now. We miss you being here. Please welcome Stacy Garris, Manager of Training and Quality at Beaver Creek Ski School, who is just recognized for, I think, 34 years? 35 years at Beaver Creek. Like Robin, really doesn't need me to go through all of this, but I will. And I had the honor just a few years ago to be with Stacy when she received the Education Excellence Award. So here's Stacy to speak on everything that we don't even begin to know about Horst.
Wow. Was today awesome or what? Yeah. So I know I'm here to talk about Horst, but I just have to mention that I got to ski off the tram today with Dale, and she rips. She was amazing. So thanks for that run. All right, so I have the distinct honor of talking to you all about Horst Abraham. He is a lifelong teacher, leader, and learner, and I am going to read my notes because there's so much that we need to know about him that I'm afraid I'll forget. So here we go. Horst Abraham is a name synonymous with passion, innovation, and transformation in the world of snow sports instruction. He's widely recognized across PSIA-AASI and internationally as a thought leader. Horst has spent decades shaping not only instructional methodologies, but also the hearts and minds of generations of educators. His career reflects a lifelong commitment to teaching, learning, and leading with curiosity. Horst served as the technical director of the Vail Ski School. He was later the technical VP of the Rocky Mountain Ski Instructors Association, and in 1971, he stepped into the role of Director of Training and Development for PSIA, setting the tone for a nationwide shift in instructional excellence. His reach extended beyond U.S. slopes. Horst represented PSIA at Interski in Sesto, Italy in 1976, and Zhao, Japan in 1980, sharing his visionary ideas with the global ski community. In 1983, he authored the book Skiing Right. How many people have that book? Yeah, a few of you. That was PSIA's official instructional guide of the time, an enduring resource that has influenced countless instructors. He has been a frequent contributor to Ski and Skiing magazine, promoting thoughtful, student-centered instruction, and he was just recognized last week in Rocky Mountain for his 55 years of PSIA membership. His lifetime of contributions has been formally recognized with inductions into the Colorado Snow Sports Hall of Fame in 2010 and the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame in 2012. He is also a past recipient of the Educational Excellence Award through PSIA. However, despite his many accolades, Horst remains a teacher at heart. He continues to educate and inspire as a professor at the Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan, while maintaining a deep connection to the snow sports community. One of Horst's most meaningful ongoing contributions is his think tank. This is a bi-monthly gathering that he founded. I happen to be part of it. In it, he brings together instructors across generations and experience levels to challenge assumptions, elevate dialogue, and reimagine the future of teaching. His mantra is be guest-centric, stay curious, and always improve. On a personal note, I've worked with thousands of extraordinary professionals in this industry. Many of you are in this room today, so thank you. But I have to tell you that in recent years, Horst has had a greater influence on my personal development than any single person. No offense to anyone in the room. Most of his mentorship has arrived, however, through email, which is interesting to think that he's influenced my development so dramatically and it has not really been on snow. So much so that I created a dedicated folder titled Horst in 2020, just to house the wealth of insights that he shares with me. His messages nearly always end with your thoughts or the acronym SAG, which stands for Simplify, Amplify, Gamify, a constant reminder to refine and reimagine. When I take too long to respond, he follows up, not to pressure, but to provoke thought. It's his way of nudging us to be better, to think more deeply, and to grow. There are two questions that he asked me many years ago, and they still guide my practice today. So maybe you all can help me answer these questions at some point. Question number one, what are the basic ingredients for learning to happen? Just let that one marinate for a moment. And question number two, what can another person do to help that a learner cannot do alone? These are the kinds of questions that define Horst, not answers handed down, but invitations to think harder, teach better, and lead with care. Now, I could go on and on about Horst. He has quite a legacy felt by many, so I'm going to read you several quotes from quite a few people that had something to say about Horst. Horst's impact echoes in the voices of those who've had the privilege to learn from him, and now you're going to hear some of those voices through me. The first one is from Jane in the Rocky Mountain region. Jane says, "We salute how he elevates the conversation, keeping PSIA-AASI focused on valuing the teaching and learning process and sparks curiosity with every question that he asks. Despite not being on the hill as often in recent years, his heart is forever that of a skier, a ski teacher, and a lifelong learner." From Marshall, "Horst is always the professor. Ask him a question and expect one in return." From Hiroshi, "He welcomes and includes everyone in the conversation regardless of their experience level." And from Brian Smith, not the Brian Smith who's here, but a different Brian Smith. "Horst has helped me see a farther horizon than I could ever imagine. His strength is transferring his passion for skiing to others and guiding them toward a more exciting experience. His comments are so supportive as well as probing, prompting me to look at my thoughts differently and reach new conclusions and outcomes. I often feel he knows where I want to go with my thoughts, and he simply leads me down the path I'm on to a whole new perspective. I'm grateful for his gentle and encouraging nature as he has made me a better person. And from Monica, working with Horst is like a masterclass in embracing the roles of teacher, instructor, and coach. You're starting to see a theme here, right? From Michael Rogan, the beautiful thing about Horst is that he almost never ends a sentence with a period. It's always a question, which asks you to think deeper, better, and more. It can drive you crazy, but mostly it forces you to stay committed to growth. And from Jim Kircher, a story that captures Horst's adaptability and commitment. Horst came to Mammoth years ago to lead clinics, but the lifts were shut down due to high winds, and still he gave his clinic using the snow they could access from walking up. It was fantastic, a masterclass in making the most of any circumstance. Horst was a captivating clinic leader. And from Carol Levine. Carol Levine says, Horst, congratulations on a lifetime of achievement. I met Horst in 1980 when I was selected to the Alpine team. Coming from a race coaching background, I had so much to learn. And at our first training, here is this intellectual, passionate facilitator, professor, and coach. He was the guide, the disruptor, and the synthesizer. He is still a disruptor today. Within a month or two, I was borrowing books from the library and speaking with my favorite psychologists to understand and pursue concepts that Horst presented. In a short time, I realized that he had that same impact on so many instructors throughout the entire country and globally. At this very moment, Horst is questioning, why? What if? What else? Why not? I know this because he is the force behind multiple ongoing conversations within groups composed of grassroots instructors alongside decision makers in the organization. In all, he pushes each of us, as well as our organization, to remain curious, open-minded, and embrace change. This is Horst's gift that keeps on giving. So now back to my reflections on Horst. I grew up with a phrase hanging on my family's refrigerator that said, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. And working with Horst has helped me to understand what that really means. To create change and to gain new perspective, we must lead, and we must choose courage as leaders. Horst Abraham leads not for the recognition, but he leads to elevate others. His nudges are always rooted in a deep love for learning and a relentless desire to contribute to the greatness of our profession. His legacy is one of inquiry, excellence, humility, and heart. And for all of us who have been fortunate enough to learn from him, he will forever be our teacher. For these reasons and many more, I am honored to recognize Horst Abraham for the Lifetime Achievement Award. And Horst and I had a little conversation the other day, so here he is.
You know, the eye can never see the eye, and I'm feel deeply honored to receive this award from you, whom I in turn recognize as such a profoundly dedicated educator. The difference that you've made in our valley and in our nation, you've made your mark 100 times. So hearing you speak that way about me is like describing a person I don't know. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I really think you nailed it by describing me as somebody who has always more questions than answers. So when I ask you questions, they're oftentimes questions I don't have answers for. So don't necessarily attribute wisdom to me that I don't own, other than replacing it by the curiosity that I live by. And it's the curiosity that also allowed me to survive 4 purges at the University of Michigan. Because nowadays, students who come to our establishment don't want to be mollified with lecture. They want to engage, they want to feel engaged, they want to be questioned, they want to be brought alive. So that you see a transfer of that value into what we do on snow is nothing short of deeply pleasing to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And what I would like to summarize my having heard your comments with is what's in our crosshair moving forward. You know, where are we now? Do we have a clear shared understanding of where we currently are? And what do we see as new targets that we gun for, that we do and launch our research for? So my gratitude to you, and if I am allowed to use the L word, I love you dearly, and thank you so much for the gift of giving my life purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Horst. And Stacy, thank you for, it sounds like you'll be able to hand deliver this award to Horst here in the next few weeks in Colorado. So thank you. Okay, well, if you have all been inspired tonight, I know I certainly have. And then based on some of the information that Robin and I shared with you all about the need for folks to be nominated and how important it is to recognize folks within our community. So there is a little code up here that will take you to where that information is. And I also want to give a shout out to Catherine and the staff in the office who are working really hard to improve our snowpros.org website, and be patient as the awards and recognition site comes alive, and we hope to bring it alive with videos such as what we've heard tonight and some photos and some bios and that sort of thing. So please talk amongst your folks in your locker room, talk to your directors, talk to your ed staff. Talk to previous award winners, and I will speak for Robin on this one and his committee. I know they would love to be overwhelmed with nominations. Now, realizing we can't recognize everybody, because it's already been a long time that you've been sitting here, there is opportunity in the future to figure out how to get a lot of these lists of nominations from all of you and get people recognized. So thank you all again for showing up, and a reminder to the award winners that there'll be an opportunity for photos. But I've been asked to bring my bodyguard back up here, wherever he is. Oh, there he is. I couldn't see you. So here's Jeff Lifgren, CEO, to wrap us up tonight.
Hey, Eliza, could you stay up here for a second? I need help to hand out some of these gifts over here. What an amazing night. I think that it would actually not be even half of what all of the individuals tonight deserve, but if we could give them just one more round of applause, because that was amazing. And in answer to Horst's question about like what is in our crosshairs and what's coming, like I hope that you will all continue to join me on that journey to actually figure that out, and then to deliver on the industry what we can to make sure that snow sports continues to be an integral part of everything that we do out there. So I look forward to that opportunity to bring that forward and to bring it alive. So, not a long time up here, but we do have a couple of gifts that we want to raffle off to folks in the room, and we have some numbers that we would like to read off, and if I read your number, then you are the recipient of one of these three gifts, and we're going to start with those skis first. Yeah, what are they, Eliza, exactly?
Nordica.
They're Nordicas.
Santa Ana 82.
Santa Ana 82s. 160, and they actually come with this classic pair of training technique skis so you can learn how to use them. Yeah, okay, awesome. And those are going to go to the person wearing badge 1474. 1474, is that person still? Yeah, amazing, awesome, come on up. And if you break one of those training technique pencils, I got another one here. Yeah. Awesome. Our second prize is a pair of Lucky poles, and those are going to go to badge 1306. 1306. Come on, look at your badge. I know you're here. CJ walked around and looked for badge numbers. No? Okay. 1258. 1258. There we go. All right. Okay, and our last prize tonight is a Lucky boot bag that Eliza is modeling over there. Fantastic work. Can you do a little strut on the runway? Okay, just like that? Okay, and that is going to go to number 1356. 1356, amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much. Eliza, I actually need you to come here. One more. We got one more thing. Sorry. One more thing. I promise this is the last thing for tonight. But as many of you know, Eliza is actually finishing out her term as the chair of the National Board. And so we thought it would be an appropriate time to recognize her for all of the service that she has provided to PSIA National and the entire organization over the last, how many years? A lot of years. Okay, a lot of years. And what I would say is in the short time that I have known Eliza, it's only been about 100 days, it's been an incredibly uplifting experience for me. In the second conversation that I ever had with Eliza, she said, Lifgren, did you know that I also went to Ithaca College? And I said, get out of here, that's amazing, when were you there? And she said, I was there from this date to that date, I won't tell you. But I was there at the same time. And so Eliza and I actually graduated from the same university in roughly the same time frame, and we are both bombers. And no, you can if you want. But we instantly had a connection, and I think that it goes back to similar people with similar mindsets being in the same place at the same time and sharing a connection for what you do and what you love, and doing it in the service of people who love what you do. And I really can't thank Eliza enough for the last 90 days and how she has supported me and have been an advocate for all of you. And I hope that you'll join me in recognizing Eliza as the outgoing chair. We have a couple of prizes for her that John is going to bring up. So Eliza Kuntz, everyone. Eliza, I'd ask you to say a couple of words about your gifts.
I guess I'd say that I don't drink this by itself. Is there another gift? I hope I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm here to recognize others tonight. As I said, thanks for showing up for all of them. I wasn't expecting this, obviously. You're glad I didn't write a speech, let me tell you. I'm deeply humbled. I feel very loved. This has been my life for a long time. I've poured everything into it and gotten so much back in return. And I can't say thank you enough to the support from the board. There are some here that you may not know. My vice chair, Neil Boussier, right here, he's been a rock. For me, we've been on the board together for a long time, and Robin May, of course, and so proud and pleased to recognize John May to step into my role as board chair this summer. John and I have become dear, dear friends over the years, I believe we share the same vision for PSIA-AASI, and so there's no doubt that he will help take the leadership role from me and into the future, and I can't thank you enough. So a huge surprise, and thanks to all of you.
Eliza, you forgot your Pepsi. I know you have rum back in your room, but you need that. And your flowers. Everyone, thank you so much for being here tonight and celebrating what an amazing association we have. I hope to see you on the snow tomorrow. Have a great night.